Hey friends, Jacqueline here. Based on all the amazing things we are seeing happen online, we are predicting this is going to be one of the busiest seasons for e-commerce ever. Are you ready for it? No matter what stage of business you're in, the one thing we do know is you need to show up and create content that actually matters to your customers during this 2020 holiday season. But wait, you may be thinking, sounds great, but what do I actually say to them without being salesy? Don't worry, friends, we've got you covered this holiday season. Introducing 101 plus content ideas beyond the discount 2020 edition, a bundle of tools, prompts, and video training that helps you create content this holiday season to reach out to your customers beyond just offering discounts, which is uber important to having a profitable Q4. This is created specifically for you to use during this 2020 holiday season. So, what's included? 101 plus content prompts to be used on social media, emails, and in live videos. 3 months of editable calendars filled with daily content ideas for marketing in 2020 quarter 4. Monthly checklists for 2020 holidays to inspire content and calendar prompts. 5 holiday plug-and-play scripts that will help you show up easily on video to stand out from the big guys. And this is one of our favorites. The easiest way to have a 12 days of holiday sales or a Cyber Month sales worksheet, plus video trainings and so much more. If you want to check it out, make sure to grab 101 content ideas beyond the holiday discount 2020 holiday edition. We wanted to make this holiday season as sweet as pumpkin pie that we are practically giving this away. Head to holidaycontentideas.com right now, and let's make this your most profitable holiday season ever.
Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we help product-based businesses grow their sales and improve their strategies.
Hey everyone, I want to introduce you to my co-host and biz bestie, Minna Kunlo-Sita, an Amazon guru that has built a multi-six-figure product-based business.
And introducing the other half of the Product Boss, Jacqueline Snyder. She has helped launch and grow over 500 fashion apparel and accessory brands, even one of her own.
And together, we share our inventory of secret weapons that will help you dig deep and do the work it takes.
Are you ready? Let's build together.
Hey everybody, Jacqueline and Minna here, your co-hosts of the Product Boss Podcast. Today, we will be sharing a conversation we had with a fellow female founder. You see, we believe women helping women is what the world needs more of. Introducing our female founder episodes, where we interview fellow female entrepreneurs and highlight their small business.
Our goal is to shine a spotlight on product businesses to encourage our community to support each other, learn from each other, buy from each other, and lift each other up. So let's jump in.
Welcome to the podcast, Ashlei. We are so excited to have Ashlei Jackson of Ever After Baby on our Female Founders podcast today. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here.
We're honored to have you. And we're really excited to talk to you today about how you've been navigating children's products, because there are so many questions that we have about that. And also that you manufacture or you source a lot overseas. You manufacture in the States as well as sourcing overseas. So I think there's so many amazing things we can talk about in here that are going to be informative to our listeners. So we're ready to jump in?
Yes.
Awesome. So tell our listeners just a little bit about Ever After Baby. What do you make? What do you sell?
So I create unique baby products that bring more ease, more joy, and a touch of fairy tale magic to babyhood for moms and dads, kind of focusing on new parents, but also parents who are just looking for something a little bit more innovative, more beautiful, and a little bit more unique.
And do you sell them individually? Because I know you sell boxes. So we've purchased boxes from you. So tell us a little bit more about that.
So we have everything you can purchase on our website or Shopify or Amazon. You can purchase the individual items, but we also have kind of our own curated boxes, but they're all with our own products. So all of our products are original. There's a few items that we have chosen to include in the boxes, but it's all under our own brand.
I see. So it's bundles then when if you want to wrap your mind around it some other way of you're providing the bundles of your products that make it easier for them to decide if they want to buy it or not.
Yes, so many people are gifting for baby showers and especially right now during COVID and everything, it's really nice for people to be able to pick out a preset gift and it arrives in our branded box.
Which is exactly what we did because we had somebody have a baby and we wanted something more than just kind of piecing things together, and we didn't have the opportunity to go somewhere and purchase it, especially shipping. So your product and your bundle and your gift box was a solution to a problem that we had, which I'm sure so many other people also they need that gift.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So your background, Ashlei, right now, are you a full-time product boss?
I would say I'm about 90% focused on my business. I do still have, I have a website and graphic design background. So I do still have some clients that I help out with over there. And so, but it is my own company. So I am full-time self-employed.
Amazing. Did you design, so if you take a look and click on the link in the show notes to see Ever After Babies products, but you have an adorable dragon stuffed animal, and there's a lot of graphics on the burp cloths and the bibs that are themed to this whole Ever After theme. So are you the designer of all of that?
Yes. So all of the prints we have custom made just for us. So that's actually one of the ways in which I do source my products overseas is I have a manufacturer over there that prints my designs on the fabric that I choose. So we use a kind of a signature kind of fabric, and they digitally print, which is a little bit more eco-friendly, which was something I kind of liked. And they digitally print the fabric. They send the fabric to us, and then we construct from that. So for example, like our bibs, so I design the print, and then they arrive, and then I end up making the bib from the fabric that they send.
So cute.
So it comes sewn, or you?
No. Yeah, no, it comes
it's just
in
the
big
fabric.
bolts. Yeah,
okay.
Big bolts of fabric. And so then, all the construction's done in-house by me and my mom. My mom is also part of my, she and I worked together to originally kind of design the little dragon and the original kind of burp cloth design.
So cute. Yeah. So let's talk about sourcing overseas. So starting back, a couple of years ago when you were thinking about doing this product or this line, were you looking to do things domestically and you couldn't find them and you went overseas, or were you always sort of planning on sourcing overseas?
No, I was looking domestically. I did connect with a manufacturer here in the States on the East Coast, and there was a lot of promise of a lot of hand holding and was going to help us really kind of develop this. And it was an eye-opening experience because really it all depends on you and your design. And so if you send over something to get feedback, that's really like they're going to do exactly what you send. So it was a learning process at figuring out that you kind of want to get all of your ducks lined up on what you want, and then have very specific questions and really asking what is going to be included in their services, what kind of reorder times, what kind of actual turnaround times for getting prototypes. It was definitely, I was thankful to have somebody here stateside because I was really worried about going overseas, and was there going to be a language barrier or issues with the time difference, and I didn't know also about how the cultural, was I expected to bargain? I wasn't sure about all of that. So I learned a lot through that process. And from there, I've done everything direct.
So you had a sourcing agent that sort of connected you with the factories and helped you sort of communicate and get the whole thing started. And then now you're saying you're working sort of independently now directly with the factories. Amazing. Yeah. So you did the fabric printing there. So you sourced the materials and the fabric printing, and then is the little stuffed animal made there as well?
Yes. So it's made, and then it is actually stuffed in the United States.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's kind of a hybrid. So it's much cheaper with freight and everything to have it sent over without the cotton
deflated.
Deflated. The skins they get sent over, and then they are stuffed over here, kind of final sewn up and sent to us. So
Amazing.
But the safety testing takes place over there while they're producing the actual item, so that they can start testing while they're producing, which is really helpful then to have a whole bunch of stuff produced and then you have it tested and it doesn't work.
Right. So let's talk about that then. So when you are starting doing a baby product line, especially like wearable products, baby toys, that sort of thing, there's a lot of standards that we have. This happened a few years back when the whole lead testing issue had happened, or there was lead in kids products. And so the US really locked in on that. So for you, so when you source these overseas manufacturers, did the middleman help you with the idea, like figuring out what you needed to do to test the products to be?
Yes and no. Okay. What was kind of tricky is, so like for my burp cloth, I have this little loop right here, and it's elastic, but it's not large enough, so it can't go over like baby's head or anything like that. But we had an issue about, we wanted it sewn in, and they just wanted to just connect it, the elastic, and have it slide. And so there is a point where it did kind of meet requirements, but we wanted to go beyond. So it is important to kind of know, like I say, you've got to do some of your research ahead of time, see what other people are doing. If other people are putting knots in the teethers, you better put knots in the teethers too. You know, I mean, like there are some little ways that you might think, oh, I want to shortcut this. But if everybody else is doing it, and especially the big guys, I mean, what you see at Target and what you see at Bye Bye Baby, those people have definitely gone through the steps. So if they're doing it to a higher safety standard, like I just sort of tried to emulate and go, okay, I'm going to start off in that zone, so that I didn't have any major problems. When they went through the safety testing, I went a step further and said I wanted stuff sewn in, and I wanted embroidery rather than the stick on eyes. You know, I mean, there was little things like that you definitely, look at what another, because I'm making products that are from 0 and up, whereas other people will make kids products that's for 3 and up. Well, there's a choking hazard difference for the first 3 years and the after. So, I really did a lot of looking at what other people were doing who have the money to do major research.
Right. Yeah. And keyword is research, right? That is researching the industry and researching your competitors and researching, what's already out there available to you, so you can take the proper steps. And I think that's what oftentimes people ask us, how do I do this? Well, the step one in all of that is always research the heck out of it, whatever you can do. And that it will prevent you from even putting money into a product that maybe there's not room in the industry, or maybe they've done it this way and figured out that was the wrong way. So I love that you did that, and super smart.
Right. The compliance, I think that's a big thing. And it also depends on the products you're making. So you have multiple types of products. You've got wearable products, you've got toys. And so then the other idea then, when you said about the safety standards being done overseas, it's true. So in apparel, for example, when I do kids apparel with clothing lines, you can, when you get to the States, if you have it all, you can send it for your own independent testing, right? And they can tell you like if there's lead and this, that, and the other. But the way that and this is not legal, so nobody quote me on this. And
she's not a lawyer.
I am not a lawyer. This is just me saying it off through this podcast. But the other way is that if the components that put together the product are independently tested by the manufacturer. So if the material is tested, if you're using zippers and those have already been lead tested, and you can track it all, then you've done your due diligence on the product coming together. So by you doing that overseas and the standards that are being met, because I think that's the hardest part with children's products too, is that the tracking of it all. Like knowing the origin of it and then being able to track it, because there is all the whole safety thing about it. So did you figure it out on your own?
Also documenting, like I have like a whole folder on my computer that's like my legal certification folder. And so but
she's not a lawyer either.
No. But if you were to ask me a question in court, I probably could answer it. But I basically wanted to make sure that I had it. I was developing a new product. And so I was worried about, was this going to be something that somebody else picked up and went with, or was China going to just start producing it over there? because it doesn't, was I trademarked, all that kind of stuff. So I really have a folder that tracks when I developed things, how I developed it, for going through the process of trademarking and whether it is truly something that can be registered, all of that stuff. So I definitely promote the idea of like, have a folder, take notes, even if it's like a little, quick Word document on what you did and what you learned, to just track so that if you had to go back, you have proof of all of that.
Oh my gosh.
Did you do it on your own? Like for the compliance, for the trademark, for the lead testing, for learning about all things that go into children's manufacturing, did you just research it on your own, or did you hire other people for that as well?
I did. I mean, I took what I learned from the person who was kind of the middleman person, and he had a lot of experience with the manufacturing and kids' toys, and he was really a toy production company. So I went with somebody, even though they produced our Dribble Shield burp cloths, they were really a toy manufacturer, but I knew that was where I needed safety testing. So I picked a manufacturer that knew safety testing for kids products. That was my number one. Whereas I could have probably gone with more of a clothing or fabric manufacturer for just the burp cloth. It wouldn't have been as critical, but I wanted everything safety tested together. So,
and I think that's a key point here. It's like you went for an expert in the very beginning that knew more than you did, and it crossed over. So the idea of the toy expert, that could then help you get started in the right way. And now you're a perfect example of someone who's taken it over and you're doing it all yourself, but you learn when people hire coaches or they hire, experts like middlemen, things like that. It's to shortcut to shortcut the learning curve and to get things done quicker versus you going through this and not even thinking about safety testing. And then all of a sudden one day being like, oh wait, I was supposed to do to do that.
I also want to highlight something else that Ashlei did and that we should all take away from this conversation as well. Create a 3-ring binder and put stuff in there. Print off every manufacturer you talk to and make notes of the number one question. Do they have safety testing? And just write that down. And then rate, do you like them? So you can at a glance, flip through that binder, know what you learned and rate them as to how much you like them. And who knows what happens in the process. It could be like, you really like their personality or you liked working with this particular agent or whatever, right? So, or customer service rep or whatever it ends up being, or this one has more expensive zippers, let's say, but they have better whatever. So I think that's really important is that you need something physical in this process of becoming a product boss. So then that way you can see, oh, I'm comparing manufacturers and I have a trackable binder that I can flip through and look at. So I love that, Ashlei.
Yes, I'm also a big spreadsheet fan. So everything is, tracked in my spreadsheets as well. But it really is a smaller world. I mean, I know people talk about Alibaba and it's so huge, but when you get into the manufacturers in your product line, it really is a smaller world. So I have a close relationship with my fabric printer. She responds to me ASAP. She's really on the ball. When I was deciding to kind of move forward and we had our little teether made, and this was like my design, and I was working with they just threw it out there. Like, do you want to try and do something more custom? We see that you kind of have some different products. Do you want to try something? So there really it is closer knit than I ever expected it was going to be. They really don't necessarily just look at you as like a number on Alibaba. It's just, just not somebody over in America. Like there really is a close camaraderie, and they can really be allies for your business.
That's a great point. And when you were sourcing with them, did you ask them to send samples prior to moving forward with something more custom?
On certain things. So I definitely got samples for the burp cloth and the safety testing, because we were really going in kind of brand new. Like we didn't know what kind of cloth they had. And it was really hard because it's such a touchy-feely kind of product. For the silicone teether, I was so just dazzled by their computer renderings and their pictures, and the colors were a little bit different. I will point out, like colors over here and colors, they'll give you like the big like Pantone color sheet. it is still always going to be a little bit different because our monitors are all different and our color, language is a little bit different. So I definitely promote getting a sample. If you can afford to have them FedEx or, DHL a sample over, it's just going to save you a lot.
And I'll even reference to that because I deal with that a lot in apparel and whatnot, is I've paid the $800 for a Pantone book. Like I have.
You can probably find one on eBay for $100.
You might be able to. So
yeah, it's worth the investment.
So if you are doing things like this and it's outsourcing, this is a big thing when it comes to prints. You're doing a lot of printed materials that if you don't give them the color to match, the color will be whatever color they interpret. Like you said, screen, whatever they pick up on theirs. And even the pigment, when it prints out, they're like, yeah, good enough, because you didn't give them an actual Pantone chip. Yeah. So, and Minna, also from a graphic design background, the two of you 100%. Deal in that all the time.
I mean, everybody's screen is different. So that
commercial printing. So if you can't afford the Pantone book, I would say anything that's like a color chip that you could get from Home Depot that you like, and you cut it, and it's not Pantone, but they actually get a reference piece.
And you mail it to them though.
If they can get a sample of fabric, anything exact, then at least they have something to reference to. So that's just a really big, that's like a coaching color.
Yeah. Right.
From Jacqueline.
That should be on everybody's wish list.
Yeah. Samples of things can help catch. I see sometimes people are wanting to like have something, I want to order 1,000 of something. I would pay for the overnight or whatever 2-day shipping from China and get it.
It's better to pay for that than have 1,000 of something that's incorrect in your house.
Color. Yeah.
And a slightly wrong color that you're like, oh, it was kind of what I wanted.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't match the dragon stuffy. So what's the point?
Exactly.
So that's a great point. So that's a really good tip for all of you, whether you're working overseas or you're working with someone somewhere else. Like whenever you can give a reference sample or you can check a sample, it's super important if you're not the physical maker. So I know a lot of you are makers. And then when you start to scale it, if you're going to give other people stuff to do, or you do start to work with a manufacturer, there's a lot more like checks and balances between it all and instruction and follow through. Yeah. So that's a great point. So how are you doing right now? Let's do like a quick check-in. So it's COVID times. It's the pandemic.
If anybody's forgotten, anybody's forgotten.
I don't know. Maybe I'm like, to all of you listening in 2023, hopefully you're like, oh yeah, I remember those days. But tell us a little bit, you're a student in multi-shoe machine, right? What is Ever After Baby looking like right now? Like what have you seen this year in growth for your business?
I'm super excited because business has been awesome this year, and I was not expecting it to be. I kind of came off of last year. I really kind of changed my tactics. I was doing kind of in-person shows. I didn't really like it. I am more of an introvert, so I really would come off of a weekend of working at a show and I'd be exhausted. And so I really changed my tactics. I got my business on Shopify. I started integrating with the different reviews and some other things. And it just made life a lot easier last year. And so I kind of made the decision I wasn't going to do any Christmas shows. I was just going to spend time with my kids and enjoy the holidays. And it just kind of kept going. It just ramped up, and I had an awesome year. It's been my best. So far, my third quarter is already at the same level. It's approaching going over my second quarter. So I'm really kind of trying to think about how the holidays and how to plan that out. So I did Rock Your Holidays promotions and just trying to think, try and get things ahead of schedule to keep riding the wave. People are doing a lot of virtual baby showers. So I'm doing a lot of virtual baby boxes, or not virtual baby boxes, but actual baby boxes. So, I'm a little nervous about shipping right now. I'm just kind of keeping my fingers crossed. And I do offer free shipping. So that's always been a tricky thing for me. And I do make it kind of priority shipping anyway. So I'm hoping that everything keeps going well.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing, right? Unprecedented sales in unprecedented times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when the pandemic hit and there was somebody else that was making kids products and they were like, should I just stop or should I not launch it? And I remember saying like, oh my God, parents are home and all they need right now are more things for their kids.
Yeah.
And then the idea too is like that sweet, I just threw a virtual baby shower for my sister, and it was so hard to recreate some of the things that you would have, right? Like people who bring the diaper bundle stacked cakes, or when you bring one of those really beautiful, like wrapped gift whatevers, because you can't really ship that, right? So people are just shipping like, oh, I'll order her crib on her registry and it gets shipped in the box and it's not wrapped and there's nothing beautiful about it. So I think what you're doing right now is just that it really is going to help people. It really helps people surprise and delight the gift receiver, especially when it's a time of baby and it's put together so beautifully. So it's definitely like it's hitting, and I don't see people going backwards either, right? It's a new thing that people are like, oh, I can buy actual like put together gift bundles and boxes and then deliver this or purchase it and bring it over, and I don't have to worry about going to. I remember I'd go to like World Market and try and make my own box. Well, you're solving that for us.
Yeah. Also, the reason why we bought a box from you recently was because the box we were talking about before is one of our masterminders. So it was a client gift. And I think that that's what people are realizing too. Even the people that are in during this time of pandemic, they're sending this to their clients because they need to revisit those relationships that they have with all those people. Yeah. And so I think that just makes it so much more easy because it does become this beautiful experience, like what Jacqueline was saying.
Yeah, we really kind of look at things as like we're delivering a little magic to someone's doorstep. And so, because we kind of have a fairy tale theme. And so we're really trying to just push that out there, that we are trying to deliver a fun experience for moms and dads. So,
do you have a board book?
We do.
You do?
So we have several, actually. We have now, I think, 6
and where
or
are those
7.
Are those made overseas as well?
Actually, yes, but they're made in small batches. So I wanted to do a book. I wanted to do a book that matched my little guy. And so when I was trying to do that, it was really hard. You had to get like 500, and I couldn't afford to do 500. So I basically found a manufacturer that is I think this one's in Japan, and they make them. They're like photo books, but they're really high end. They're handmade, and they're just really, really interesting. So I have my small batches made. So I think I have a total of 7 or 8 books now.
I love that.
So.
That's awesome.
Does he have a name? What's the dragon's name?
Oh, the dragon. So the purple dragon is Bliss, and the teal dragon is Blaze.
Bliss and Blaze.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So we just kind of changed things up for our books. So now we really don't refer to them as like him and her kind of thing, because so many people are buying the teal dragon for like gender surprise kind of situations, or just people wanting to buy teal instead of purple with for their little girls. So
right, gender neutral.
Yeah.
So what's awesome. To come? What's next for Ever After Baby?
We are trying to release some more prints. I would eventually like to get more either similar colors or different plushes, different things like that made. But we are definitely doing prints and kind of some holiday fun stuff for Christmas and the end of the year. So
amazing.
And more books eventually. I mean, I've got lots of ideas. I have no shortage of things, but I try and not get too distracted. Like when you talk about that, like shiny syndrome,
I would say you could definitely
get too much. So I have a lot of stuff in my back pocket, but I try to just kind of focus on what's doing well right now.
I love it. I love that you're focusing on what's doing well. And those characters are so super cute. And I think that one thing that you could really heavily lean into is the fact that people are having babies, even though it's still quarantine times, so this virtual baby shower, like Jacqueline said, it's not going to go away. And, they probably would be more than happy with the products that you already have on hand.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I only have like my bestsellers, and my boxes are like on Etsy. So I've really kind of got it focused down so that I know that I'm selling where I need to be selling and where it's doing well.
Oh, sounds like you've been listening to the podcast.
All right. Student of ours.
Podcast, multi-stream machine, bestseller secrets.
Sell where your customers are. Love it. So you're having the best year ever.
Yes.
Ashlei, thank you so much for being on with us today. It was so enlightening. Would you mind sharing with our listeners how they can support you, buy from you, and share you?
Certainly. So our website is everafterbaby.com. You can also visit us on Facebook or on Instagram. On Instagram, you'll definitely see our link in bio, which takes you to our Etsy shop and our Amazon shop where you can get some of our bestsellers. But yeah, everafterbaby.com.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Ashlei.
Thank you for being here. Hey friends, Jacqueline here. Based on all the amazing things we are seeing happen online, we are predicting this is going to be one of the busiest seasons for e-commerce ever. Are you ready for it? No matter what stage of business you're in, the one thing we do know is you need to show up and create content that actually matters to your customers during this 2020 holiday season. But wait, you may be thinking, sounds great, but what do I actually say to them without being salesy? Don't worry, friends, we've got you covered this holiday season. Introducing 101 Plus Content Ideas Beyond the Discount 2020 edition, a bundle of tools, prompts, and video training that helps you create content this holiday season to reach out to your customers beyond just offering discounts, which is uber important to having a profitable Q4. This is created specifically for you to use during this 2020 holiday season. So, what's included? 101 plus content prompts to be used on social media, emails, and in live videos. 3 months of editable calendars filled with daily content ideas for marketing in 2020 Q4. Monthly checklists for 2020 holidays to inspire content and calendar prompts. 5 holiday plug-and-play scripts that will help you show up easily on video to stand out from the big guys. And this is one of our favorites, the easiest way to have a 12 days of holiday sales or a Cyber Month sales worksheet, plus video trainings and so much more. If you want to check it out, make sure to grab 101 Content Ideas Beyond the Holiday Discount 2020 Holiday Edition. We wanted to make this holiday season as sweet as pumpkin pie that we are practically giving this away. Head to holidaycontentideas.com right now and let's make this your most profitable holiday season ever.